Mrs. Shaw has said hi and bye. We'll just see who else is coming. So if you are here, if you could say hello, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, I'm just going to go. Everybody asked on the YouTube chat for it, on the WhatsApp chat for it, but there's like not many people here. So turn up or I leave. Good, that's a bit better. So if you could say hi. So if you could type who you are, that would be fantastic. Okay, guys, I can't do it with only 2 people if those 2 people aren't going to say hi. So if no one else turns up, I'll just cancel it, which is fine. I just need to give a little bit more notice for the class, but I've been doing a lot of intensives. So could you just tell me if the 2 people that are here are going to be typing, could you just type your names? If you can't type, I can't do a class with nobody. So could you just type? I can't do it unless people type. Right, Elizabeth, brilliant. So we've got Elizabeth. Can someone else type hello? Guys, you all send me these private messages asking for the live chat, and then no one turns up for it. I can't do it unless people are here. Okay, so far, the only person typing in the class is Elizabeth. 2 minutes, guys, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to give you an hour. I'm happy to solve your problems, but I need people to type. If people don't turn up, I'm going to go. There's just Elizabeth so far. Right then, fine. So let's just start with Elizabeth, because Elizabeth, I appreciate you turning up. So Elizabeth, first things first then, can you type for me? Yes, I know, Mrs. Shaw, but you're lovely and can be relied upon. And I've had about 25 messages individually from people saying, are you doing a class this weekend? And then no one turns up. So I can't, you know, I'm not a charity. So Elizabeth, let's just work with you. So can you say, I woke up this morning at, no, I woke up last week at 6 o'clock. So I woke up at 6 a.m. If you could write that for me. Great. So, lovely. We were leaving for France. We were leaving to go to France. We were leaving to go to France. Hi guys, so if you could translate, we were leaving to go to France. Right, so careful, Hannibal, spelling. Right, good, lovely. So we've got, you can either use, so la France, okay, so on partait pour aller en France, which is fine, good. We have to use en with France, we don't use to, or pour la France. We were leaving for France, pour la France, great, or pour la France, great, okay. We weren't supposed to take the boat. No, we weren't supposed to take the train until, let's say, 8:30. We weren't supposed to take the train until 8:30. So, Elizabeth, I wouldn't really say nous partions aller en France. I'd say we were leaving for France, so we were leaving to go to France. Yeah, nous partions. On partait pour aller en France. Yeah, would be better. Nous partions pour aller. Okay. So we weren't supposed to take the train until 8:30. Right, good. So we weren't supposed to, censé. So Hads, can you all be careful? So let's go through. So Hannibal, we weren't supposed to with a C. Yeah, censé, okay? And can I remind you that this isn't a verb that gets used. You just say censé plus the infinitive. So Hannibal, on n'était pas, spelled beautifully, censé prendre le train until. Now, right, let's go through this. So until, I would say avant in this case, because jusqu'à is doing something, carrying on until. So I'm going to work until 8:30. Je vais travailler jusqu'à 8:30. Okay, but we're not supposed to take the train until 8:30. It means we're not supposed to take the train before 8:30. So that in French would be on n'était pas censé prendre le train avant 9h, 8:30. Okay. So, Hads, on n'était pas censé, good, spelled correctly with the C, but why the feminine E? Why the feminine E, Hads? Okay, so on n'était pas censé prendre le train. Again, now you've done a nice link on jusqu'à, but it would be before 8:30, avant, and it's 8:30 in the morning. So, Elizabeth, let's have a look. Nous n'étions pas, so, strictly speaking, if we use, then it's nous étions pas censé as an adjective. With an S, yeah, because there's a masculine. Nous étions pas censé, lovely. If it's we, that'll be fine. If you're using en to replace we, you still treat it as an adjective, like the nous, on n'était pas censé. You still treat it like an adjective with the S. So strictly speaking, you need the S. So Hads, on n'était pas censé, no E, but we need an S. Prendre le train avant 8:30. Elizabeth J, nous n'étions pas censé, that's lovely, but we need censé. Prendre le train avant. Nous n'étions pas censé. I can see that you can do the E. So lovely. Don't use supposed to. We don't need de. It's a very common mistake, Priya, but we don't need de. I'm supposed to finish. Je suis censé finir. Yeah, I don't need je suis censé de finir. So censé goes straight into another word. Say, I am supposed to leave. Can you all just write, I am supposed to leave? Lovely. What has Mrs. Shaw written? So, nous n'étions pas censés. That was lovely, but we need an S for the plural. Prendre le train, masculine. And again, the same thing, all of you, avant. because jusqu'à is going from a point until a point. Okay, so that's like I'm going to continue working until jusqu'à. Okay, so nous n'étions pas censés prendre le train avant 8h30, whatever. Okay, so could you all just write for me now? I am supposed to leave, or something like that. Yeah, could you just write that for me? So, je suis censé partir. Lovely, je suis censé partir. Je suis censé. We've got it. Yeah, perfect. Done. Nice. So censé doesn't have de. Great. Okay. Lovely. Mrs. Shaw and I had met online. Mrs. Shaw and I had met online. Okay. Mrs. Shaw and I had met online. Great love story began our meeting. Right, so a couple of things. Ooh, everybody's got something good. Nobody's got it completely right. So, Mrs. Shaw and I met each other. Now, even if you don't say each other in French, you need each other. Because otherwise it'd be, well, who did Mrs. Shaw and I meet? A drug dealer? Imelda Marcos? All of the above. I mean, you know, who did Mrs. Shaw and I meet? If it meant each other, French needs to say each other. So that means we are in reflexive, or more specifically, reciprocal. It's reciprocal because I'm meeting Hannibal. That's not bad. I'm meeting Mrs. Shaw. She's meeting me. Okay, so it's not reflexive. I'm not meeting myself and she's not meeting herself. We are both meeting someone else, but it'd be reciprocal, which is the same grammar. So what that would be is Mrs. Shaw and I. Now, Mrs. Shaw and I can be replaced with we. So Mrs. Shaw and I, we met online. Nous nous sommes rencontrés. That would be the poetry past in the simple past. But we had met. So Mrs. Shaw and I, which would be Mrs. Shaw et moi, nous nous étions rencontrés en ligne. Okay. Now you can say s'était rencontré for the had form with an on, but I just don't think it's as done as often unless you've introduced that on in the first place. Okay. So we can have, let's go through the armfuls, what you've given me. So Mrs. Shaw and I, oh, we got a Madame Shaw. That's lovely, Madame Shaw. I like that. On a rencontré en ligne. That's beautiful French. If it were we met somebody else online, show novi. So it needs to be reflexive. Okay. And also it was had. Yeah, it was had. So it needs to be pluperfect. Elizabeth J. Mrs. Shaw and I en rencontré sur l'internet. And that's all lovely. Okay, careful. You've used French typo spell check to use interest, intérêt. But I need internet. Okay. So, but it wouldn't be a have, because although Mrs. Shaw and I is a plural, yeah, it's short for a we. Yeah, if it was Jonathan, if it was Mrs. Shaw and her husband, then yes, it would be the they in the middle. But it's the same as a we because it's Mrs. Shaw and I. Okay, so it's me who went to town. C'est moi qui suis allé. You've got to use the be or the have verb that's appropriate for the person doing it. Okay. So Mrs. Shaw and I avaient Priya. No, so Madame Shaw et moi avaient rencontré. So correct in the had. Well done, Priya. But no, it needs to be nous étions. So Madame Shaw et moi, nous nous étions rencontrés, or Madame Shaw et moi, nous étions rencontrés en ligne. S'était rencontré en ligne. Hannibal, that's nicely worked out. That's beautifully spelt with the S. The S would need to agree. Well done. But you've done it for a they, and we are not a they. Hannibal had. I like what you've done. Had with the. On s'était rencontré en ligne, that's fine. But if you've done that, there'd still be the S there because the on would be like a nous. Mrs. Shaw était rencontrée en ligne. So that sounds correct, but I would just need the reflexive in there as well, Mrs. Shaw. Good, okay. So the videos I had made, and I'm going to give you a clue, videos is feminine. She had seen them. So the videos I had made, comma, she had seen them. Lovely, Hannibal. Lovely. Oh no, Hannibal, hang on. I get the videos I had made. The videos I had made. So one little error, Hannibal. Bruno, correct tense. Well done. Lovely spelling of video. Hang on, says Shinobi, les vidéos que j'avais fait. So correct tense, Shinobi, but we need the correct spelling. So I've got les vidéos que j'avais fait. So I need the videos that I had made. So video needs an accent on the E because it's vidéo que j'avais fait because the videos are feminine. Yeah. Elle les avait vus. That was lovely, Shinobi, in a lot of places, but I need the ES on the end of fait and I need the accent on the E. Bruno, les vidéos que j'avais faites, again, faites. She saw them, elle les avait vus. Les vidéos que j'avais faites, again, Elizabeth J, nice tense, but I would need ES on the end of fait because it's a preceding direct object. When you have a direct verb, i.e., I made the videos, and the thing you made has come first, it's going to go feminine on the end. So les vidéos que j'avais faites. So Elizabeth J, Mrs. Shaw, les vidéos que j'avais faites, elle les avait vues. So perfect order, orally, Mrs. Shaw. What you said orally would make complete perfect sense, but we would need the E's and the S's because of feminine videos. Adds les vidéos que j'avais faites, elle les avait vues. So basically, it would be in full les vidéos. Merde, putain, les vidéos que j'avais faites. Comma, virgule, elle les avait vus. Okay, good. Using the compound avoir envie, can you give me the city of Besançon? And Besançon is spelt with a cedilla, but don't worry about that. If you just write the letter B, so the city of Besançon, she wanted to see it. Using avoir envie. Yeah, the city of Besançon, she wanted to see it. Now, careful, Shinobi. Think what you've just said. La ville. La ville. So you've given me a beautiful pronoun order. Well done. Yeah? Lovely. So, la ville de Besançon, elle avait envie de la voir. Shinobi, I did specifically say, so whilst you've done that beautifully with vouloir, yeah, okay, I would want avoir envie de. So can you just have a little look? Bruno, can you be careful with the spelling? Elle voulait would be the was. You've spelled AIS. It will be AIT because it's the imperfect. Yeah. Mrs. Shaw, that's absolutely perfect. La ville de Besançon, the town of, but I think that was a typo. La ville de Besançon, elle avait envie de la voir. Great. So can we just remind ourselves why we're using this tense? Because we've got she wanted, so it sounds like one word in the past. What am I on about? It is one word in the past in English. But it's referring to an ongoing mental process, a description of a mental state, Yeah, I knew that was a typo. So, the town I had talked about was something she wanted to see. The town I had talked about was something she wanted to see. If you can hear typing, I'm trying to type and correct someone's university essay, and they're discussing it with me at the same time. So I taught an intensive yesterday. J'ai fait un cours intensif hier, so I haven't had a lot of time this weekend. Je n'ai pas eu beaucoup de temps ce week-end, so that's why, ça c'est pourquoi I'm trying to do two things at the same time. J'essaye de faire deux choses en même temps. Not bad at all, Shinobi, but I'd like you to listen to this. The town I had talked about, and I'd like you to think of the fact that in English, we don't always use the relative pronoun that, but we will always use it in French. So, for example, the man I love, the man that I love in French. Okay, so I think about that, Shinobi. Hannibal, the town, you've written le town, but la ville, yeah. Dont j'ai parlé, again, you've mastered the don beautifully, but it's I had talked about. So I'm going to need had in there. Was something she wanted to see. Lovely. Shinobi, I don't need elle voulait la voir because I've already mentioned the word town. Okay. Elizabeth J. La ville dont j'avais parlé. Lovely, Elizabeth. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But can you be careful with the spelling of the AIS for the je and the AIT for the il? C'était quelque chose. Again, she wanted to see. Elle avait envie. But need qu'elle avait envie de voir. Okay, oh, c'était quelque chose dont elle avait envie de voir. You could even, elle avait envie de le voir. C'était quelque chose dont elle avait envie de voir, to be honest with you. Yeah, la ville dont j'ai parlé, c'était quelque chose dont elle avait envie de voir. You could use a dont there because it's j'ai envie de voir. Yeah. La ville dont j'avais parlé était quelque chose qu'elle avait envie. Elle avait, yeah. La ville dont j'ai parlé, careful with the spell check. La ville dont j'ai parlé, c'était quelque chose qu'elle avait envie de voir. Lovely, okay. La ville dont j'ai parlé, c'était quelque chose. All of you are spelling quelque chose beautifully in two separate words. Well done. Yeah. Now, again, that she wanted, it was an ongoing description. Yeah. Wanted, so you're hearing one word in English, so that's what I would go with. I'd go with elle voulait. It's not that elle a voulu doesn't exist, but okay. Hannibal, la ville dont j'avais parlé était quelque chose qu'elle voulait voir. Yeah, elle voulait voir quelque chose, donc c'est quelque chose qu'elle voulait voir. Okay. Great. Next up, okay. We enjoyed ourselves a lot during the journey. We enjoyed ourselves a lot during the journey. We enjoyed ourselves a lot during the journey. Right, let's have a look. On s'est beaucoup amusé pendant le trajet. Trajet is lovely, but that's more of a regular journey, like a commute. So if it's a journey like a one-off, which sadly it was, well, not a one-off, but you know, it's not a regular thing, then I would go with le voyage. On s'est bien amusé pendant le trajet. Again, Hannibal came up with the same word. Lovely. Bien or beaucoup are fine there. Both would work. Nous nous sommes amusés. That's lovely, Mrs. Shaw. Lovely with the S. That's all good. Yeah, that's fine. Nous nous sommes amusés pendant le voyage, but lovely to see nous nous sommes. Hadzef, on s'est beaucoup amusé pendant le voyage. Again, you've all got this word trajet down, but voyage would be fine. Nous nous sommes amusés. Lovely, Elizabeth J. Now, all I'm saying is, Elizabeth J, is somebody will shout out for me. Bits before verbs is one of my slogans, but another one of my slogans is adverbs go after verb number one, normally. So where is the first verb? And as a rule, Elizabeth, if you're using reflexives in the past, je me suis, tu t'es, il s'est, nous nous sommes, vous vous êtes, ils se sont, you've already used one verb. So what that means is you need to stick your beaucoup or your bien after your first verb. So Elizabeth, could you just say for me to yourself, I got washed, je me suis lavé. I didn't get washed, je ne me suis pas lavé. Or don't even worry about the ne, je me suis pas lavé. You're going to put your adverb in there, all right? Hads, on s'est beaucoup amusé pendant le trajet, but yeah, le voyage. Bruno, nous nous amusions beaucoup. Now, that's we were enjoying ourselves, but it's we enjoyed ourselves. It's all finished, okay? But again, Elizabeth, notice in Bruno's, nous nous amusions beaucoup, there's only one verb there, so he's put the adverb after that first verb. If it was we enjoyed ourselves, as Mrs. Shaw correctly did, nous nous sommes beaucoup amusés, ou nous nous sommes bien amusés, okay? Lovely. Le voyage, Mrs. Shaw, le voyage, masculine. Okay, good, okay? Okay. After driving for several hours, we decided to stop to eat. After driving for several hours, we decided to stop to eat. I have to tell you, je dois quand même vous dire that Mrs. Shaw had provided a nice little selection of something to snack on, que Madame Shaw avait bien fourni une bonne petite sélection de choses à grignoter. So we didn't starve, on n'a pas eu faim, but we fancied something a little bit more substantial. On voulait quelque chose de plus substantiel. So we decided to stop. So after driving for several hours, we decided to stop to eat. After driving for several hours, we decided to stop to eat. I'm such a pig. I can't even say the word eat without wanting to eat. Now, Hannibal, I like that. What would you say if you weren't using afanda? What would you do if you weren't being quite so formal? Because afanda is really a little bit more formal. If I said, I'm going to the bathroom to pee, not that I would announce it, I wouldn't say, I'm going to the bathroom in order to pee. Okay? I'd say, I'm going to the bathroom to pee. So when you've just got a normal, I'm going to go and do this in order to, i.e., I'm going to do this to do this, afanda is absolutely fine, and that's correct French, and that's great. But just so I know you've got the other version, what's the slightly less formal version? So, Shinobi, after having, can I remind you all that after doing is after having, or after, so après avoir or après être, okay? So après avoir conduit, yeah, or après avoir roulé. Pendant, Shinobi, you give me pour quelques heures, I need pendant. In the past, it's pendant. On a décidé d'arrêter. Now, d'arrêter is when you stop doing another verb. So I stopped smoking, j'ai arrêté de fumer. Or you can say j'ai cessé, actually, I ceased smoking. But when you just stop, as beautifully done by Mr. Hannibal, we often use the reflexive. So on s'est arrêté, we stopped. Okay? So you can kind of switch in and out of both, but really it's nicer to use the reflexive there. So, so what I would want from you, Shinobi, by all means, please write it again, is after having, yeah, après avoir, pour not any pendant, we decided to stop ourselves in order to eat. But the pour was lovely, and that's what I was talking about, Hannibal. Okay, had après avoir conduit, pendant again in the past, pendant in the past, not pour. Plusieurs heures, on a décidé de s'arrêter. Lovely, Hads. Pour manger, lovely, good work. Après avoir conduit, lovely, Elizabeth. So après avoir, nice work, Elizabeth. Coming on nicely week after week. But after having, I don't have two infinitives. I have after having plus the past word. Yeah. Après avoir conduit or après avoir roulé. Okay. Pendant plusieurs heures, I would need you give me plus pour. Nous avons décidé de manger. Lovely. That's going round the houses. You gave me a slightly different version, but that's what language is about. So what I would like, we decided to stop to eat. So you avoided the issue of stop. Well done, though. That made great sense. Okay. Mrs. Shaw, après avoir conduit. Again, après avoir, past tense, Mrs. Shaw, after having driven. So it's avant de infinitive, after having passed. Avant de infinitive, after having passed. All right. Lovely. So let's make sure after doing something is gonna be après avoir, or if it's an être verb, après être, plus the past participle. Is everybody clear on that? Can you all just write for me after eating? Can you just write for me after eating? Bearing in mind, we say elle a mangé. It's a verb which uses avoir. I know it seems simple, but can you all just write for me after eating? Or on a décidé de s'arrêter. Shinobi, on a décidé de s'arrêter. Okay. So could you all just write for me? Lovely. Après avoir mangé. Lovely, lovely, lovely. That's it. That's good. That's great. Right. Look at this. Je suis parti, or an E if you're a lady. Could you now just write for me, bearing in mind that you've just seen that it takes être, je suis parti, could you say for me after leaving? Could you say for me after leaving? Strictly speaking, there's an accent on the arrêté in the infinitive. There's a second place. Lovely. Nice to see you, Doug. Après être parti. Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, so we're basically clear. Now, why is this a son of a bitch? Because often the A form sounds the same. So if you say après avoir mangé, avant de manger, the manger sounds the same. So it would be après avoir passed. Yeah, it's after having eaten, passed. Like I have eaten, j'ai mangé, passed. Okay. As opposed to before eating, avant de. Well, can you write for me? Can you now just give me before eating? Before eating. Says Luke with a lamb chop in his greedy face. Good. Good. So, are we clear? When we use before, pardon me for eating with my mouth full, excuse-moi de manger avec la bouche pleine. Are we clear? Before, avant de, plus the infinitive. We don't need to care about have or be. We don't care. We don't care. After, après avoir, plus the past participle. All right? Now, let's take it up a notch. If you bring in pronouns, Mrs. Shaw will tell you the rule. What's the rule with pronouns? Bits before verbs, unless there is an infinitive. Look at this sentence. Is there an infinitive? Yes, there is. Look at this sentence. Is there an infinitive? Yes, there is. So can you write for me after eating it, before eating it? Can you write that for me? Think which pronoun you're going to use. Pense au pronom que tu vas utiliser. I really want you to think about the infinitive. Je veux que vous pensiez au verbe fin infinitif. That's really important. Ça, c'est très important. Okay? So can you think where you're going to place it? Est-ce que vous pouvez réfléchir où vous allons le placer? So I would like you to write, j'aimerais que vous écriviez after eating it, before eating it. No, Elizabeth J. No, Elizabeth J. Not for the first one. Elizabeth J. Look what I wrote. Look at that first sentence. Après avoir. Where is the infinitive? This is just a question to Elizabeth. Where is the infinitive, Elizabeth, in the sentence? Après avoir mangé. Where is the infinitive in that sentence? I'd like you to write the infinitive word down for me in that sentence. Après avoir mangé. Thank you, Elizabeth. Come again. Bits before verbs, that means pronouns before verbs, unless before an infinitive. Unless before an infinitive. So can you now write down, you've already got après avoir mangé, you're just shoving in the word it. Can you now write that out again for me, Elizabeth? I don't like to be cruel. Je n'aime pas être cruel, but it's really simple, mais c'est très simple. You're going to put the pronoun before the infinitive. Vous allez mettre le pronom avant l'infinitive. Yay! Brilliant. Yeah? Now, anything you can do with the pronoun, you can do with this shit. So, for example, je lui ai parlé. Yeah? Look what pronoun was used. Regarde quel pronom on a utilisé. Yeah? Lovely, Mrs. Shaw. Okay? Look what pronoun was just used there. Je lui ai parlé. Can you say for me, after speaking to him, just let me get this one out of the way, Hads, and then I will. After speaking to him, before speaking to him. Your basic after speaking is obviously après avoir parlé and avant de parler. Can you write after speaking to him and before speaking to him? Bits before verbs and less before an infinitive. Hads, while they're doing that, can you tell me your question? Elizabeth J. If I said, this is a question to Elizabeth. As I have just written, Elizabeth, if I said I speak, je parle. If I said I speak to him, je lui parle. If I said I spoke, j'ai parlé. If I said I spoke to him, je lui ai parlé. Elizabeth, one word. Can you look back at the sentence I first wrote down for you, which was je lui ai parlé? Look at the yellow, look up a bit. Je lui ai parlé. What was the pronoun that was used in that sentence? In the sentence, je lui ai parlé, I spoke to him. Thank you, Elizabeth. Can you now take the energy from your 3 exclamation marks? Thank you. Can you now write after speaking to him, Elizabeth? Shinobi. Let's have a look at these answers. Après lui avoir parlé, good, avant de lui parler. Bruno, après lui avoir parlé. No, Bruno. I keep saying après avoir plus the past word, Bruno. So look at your spelling. Après lui avoir parlé. Parler is going to be spelled in the past form, not in the infinitive. Likewise, Shinobi, après lui avoir parlé, great. Avant de lui parler, wrong. Avant de, infinitive, ER. Après être, past form. Bruno and Shinobi, can you write yours both out again with the correct spelling on both parts? Gorgeous, Mrs. Oh, no, Mrs. Shaw, we've got one from you as well. Après lui avoir parlé, c'est après avoir past form. Avant de, what form of the verb comes after a de? Avant de parler, long form. How am I going to spell the bloody long form of a verb? Mrs. Shaw, can you write the second half out again? That's it. After having past word, avant de infinitive form. Yeah. Okay, Mrs. Elizabeth, what this basically means is I don't quite see where this is cryptic. I do not see where this is cryptic for you. If you are sticking in bits before verbs, it means stick your pronoun before any verb, like je fais, je le fais, j'ai fait, je l'ai fait. If you've got an infinitive, it just means whatever your infinitive is in the sentence, or if you've got several, use the last infinitive, you're going to stick your infinitive there. You're going to stick your bit before the infinitive. So just Elizabeth, who I will invoice for the private class. Just Elizabeth. How do you say, Elizabeth, I am going to speak? Can you say, thank you, Big Dave, I really appreciate that, because no bugger turns up for the first 10 minutes. So can you say for me, Elizabeth, I am going to speak? Elizabeth, can you just write for me, I am going to speak? Can you just write for me, Elizabeth, I am going to speak? Gorgeous. Right. Where's the infinitive? Or question one, is there an infinitive in that sentence? Yes or no? Great. So bits before verbs unless there's an infinitive. So it doesn't matter what your pronoun was. I'm going to speak about it using en. I'm going to speak to him, lui, to them, leur. I'm going to speak to you, te. It doesn't matter what your pronoun is. It's going to go bits before verbs, except before an infinitive. It's going to go before the infinitive. So if we use I speak, je parle. I speak to you, je te parle. Can you now write out for me, Elizabeth? I'm going to speak to you. Bits before verbs unless there's an infinitive. So which means stick it before the infinitive. Can you write out for me, Elizabeth? I'm going to, Mrs. Shaw is my first love. Her name drops off my tongue so easily. I'm so sorry. Elizabeth, can you write for me, I'm going to speak to you? Although she's frightened of turning up for this lesson because of mistakes. But we don't allow moral cowardice. Lovely. Although, to be fair, Elizabeth, I did just say te. I did say te earlier, but that's fine. So do you understand what I'm saying, Elizabeth? Now, let's say I said, I buy some. J'en achète. Okay, can you all see that? Okay, j'en achète. Okay. So could you now write for me, Mrs. Shaw? Elizabeth, we are going to buy some. Same freaking pronoun. We are going to buy some. We are going to buy some. Life's too short for cowardice. I am going to buy some. I am going to buy some. No, we are going to buy some. Yeah, so remember the rule, Elizabeth. Bits before verbs, unless there's an infinitive. Could you go, we are going to buy some? You've seen what the pronoun is for some. Lovely. Now, say for me after buying. Just write for me after buying. No, actually, write for me after buying and before buying. So, après da da da, avant da da da. Okay, and then we'll move on. Hads, did you ask the question you wanted to ask? Oh, Hads, I missed your question. Brilliant question from Hads. Avant de le manger. Does that stay like that, or does that become avant du manger? Because everywhere else in French, de le becomes du. Excellent question from Hads. I have answered it in the videos before. You do not join le when it means a person, when it is a pronoun. When it is an article, you join. For example, from the market, du marché. I've just seen him, je viens de le voir. From the shops, des magasins, from the United States, des États-Unis. I'm going to try to buy them. Je vais essayer de les acheter. So to answer your question, Hads, if it's a pronoun, if it's replacing somebody, never join. All right? Same with à. I'm going to continue to do it. Je vais continuer à le faire. But à le, if le meant the, oh, je vais aller au marché. Is that clear, Hads? Let me know. I'm sorry I hadn't responded. Yeah. Good. So Elizabeth has written avant d'acheter and après avoir acheté. Lovely. Can you now then, Elizabeth, now that you're the pronoun expert, knowing that bits go before verbs, unless there's an infinitive and they go before the infinitive, can you shove in en in those sentences? So after buying some, yeah, Good, Hads. So can you shove in on in those sentences that you've just written? So exactly the same sentences and go again. Those of you that understand this, I'm about to do something a little bit trickier, so hold on with me. Gorgeous, Elizabeth. What lovely French from you. Can you now write the second one? So what I'm saying is, oh, hi, Nick. Nice to see you. Yes, gorgeous, Elizabeth. Lovely quality of French. So this shit is really important. Cette merde, c'est hyper important. We are going to use this in French. Ça va s'utiliser tout le temps en français. You really need to know how to do it. Que tu saches savoir comment le faire. Okay? Because you don't want to keep repeating the same words. Tu ne veux pas toujours devoir répéter les mêmes mots. Have you seen the castle? Yes, I've seen the castle. I visited the castle. Oh, we enjoyed the castle. Jesus Christ, life is too short. La vie est trop courte. Vous avez vu le château? Oui, je l'ai vu. I'm going to go there. Je vais y aller. We're not always going to say château, château. No. Trick for you. Say for me, I bought it. And we're talking about a feminine pizza. For a second, I couldn't spell the word feminine in English. Please tell me that's correct. Feminine, yeah. I bought it, feminine pizza. Could you say for me, I bought it? Feminine pizza. Being directly bought. Preceding direct object. Lovely, Elizabeth. Lovely. Lovely, 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 lovely. Oh, careful, Nick. Je l'ai acheté has got the extra E on the end, Nick, because that's what we're talking about, the preceding direct object. Nick, if you don't quite get why there's an extra E going on that, email me, logiclanguagelearning@gmail.com. And when I haven't got a piece of lamb chop in my face, I will send you the I'll send you the video on why we do that. So basically, if you've got a form of language in French which has the past participle, or it could be j'ai acheté, j'avais acheté, j'aurais acheté, subjunctive que j'ai acheté. If the thing that you bought directly comes before, you have to make it agree, okay? So, but send me an email and I'll send you the video on that. So, if I gave you, after buying it, referring to a big girl of a pizza, which is feminine, yeah? C'est un mot féminin. C'est une pizza, okay? Can you say, after buying it, referring to the feminine pizza? Elizabeth, it's lovely to see you blossom like a rose. Lovely. Good. It doesn't matter what the grammar is. It doesn't matter whether we've had je l'ai acheté or après l'avoir. The pigging thing has been included in the sentence before my third word, right? Good. Can I make it very clear? Lovely, Mrs. Shaw. Okay. Can I make it very clear that we only do this with direct? We do not do this shit with indirect. Louis, I spoke to her. Oh, her. She's very female. She's in a miniskirt. Pardon me to use the patriarchal male discourse of what defines female, but let's be an idiot. So let's say she's the most pink Barbie, whatever thing in the world. Okay. I spoke to her. Je lui ai parlé. No E on the end because I'm not speaking her. It needs to be direct. Okay. A preceding direct object, an objet précédent direct. Although in modern French grammar, we're starting to teach this kids. We're using the word, we call it complément objet direct. Anyway, good. So be careful when you hear about me and te and nous and vous, okay? Or even ça, because sometimes they're not direct and sometimes they are direct. So you have to be careful. So for example, if a woman said, he saw me, that would be il m'a vu, because the shit that got seen was a woman. Okay? If it was he gave me, I should be giving you these as questions, but I want to move on. He gave me a job. There's not going to be an agreement because the thing that was given was the job. Okay? Someone is drilling. It's getting on my tits. So, next sentence. Following our arrival in Besançon, you can just write B. Mrs. Shaw entered my friend's house. Oh, friends like an idiot. I need to make my font bigger. Il faut que j'augmente la taille de la police. Okay, so following our arrival in Besançon, Mrs. Shaw entered my friend's house, where she was very welcome and went down very well. Où elle était la bienvenue, elle était très populaire. Now, while you're typing, I'm going to let you know about next week. Next week is full-on oral. I don't want typing next week. We're all going to have an oral class. Can you all make sure you've got me on WhatsApp for next week? Okay? If you don't have WhatsApp, and for whatever crazy reason you don't want WhatsApp, if you have Facebook, can you add me on Facebook and you can send me a voice message? The questions next week, I need you to speak, okay? We are going to be looking at, because there's those of you who I work with who've got beautiful accents. Mrs. Shaw's got a gorgeous accent. You should hear her little voice. It's lovely and French. But there are those of you that just type. So next week's focus will be, okay, on saying the stuff, okay? Because people go, oh, I like to write, I like to read, I don't like to speak, okay? So what I want then is for you next week, when I ask the questions, I want everybody to hold the button down, speak on WhatsApp, and say the sentence. And I will compare what you're saying. Do not be embarrassed. We are a family. We are a community. We are here to bloody learn. If you don't want to bother, then you're never going to get any better. So can you, before next week, and I will do a video about this, make sure that you've got me individually on WhatsApp. I do not mean the group, because someone who's in the group who doesn't come to the class would have 50 freaking million voice messages, and that won't be cool. So make sure you've got a window open. By all means, just say hi. Say hi on WhatsApp. Just say hi. You know, those of you who've spoken to me already on WhatsApp individually, that's fine. Yep. And we will be playing each other's voice messages. All right. That is what is happening next week. It won't be every week, but it will be next week. Yeah. Those of you that don't have WhatsApp, please, can you add me? I am +447899732838. More than likely will be on the to show me that you've got WhatsApp, if you can send me a message saying whether you prefer Saturday or Sunday, and then I will go on the most votes. So let's have a look. Following our notre, right? Okay, message ensuite notre arrivée en Besançon, elle était entrée chez mes amis. Right, so there's lots of good French here all round. So the first thing is everything I've read from everybody. Okay, everything I've read from everybody, and it was quite a complicated one, okay? Okay, so Shinobi, I don't want that here. Like I said, WhatsApp it me, so then I can keep a log on WhatsApp, all right? So basically, everybody's written something good. Let's have a talk about following. There are 3 types of following. Following, then a noun. I don't mean following a noun. I don't mean following the word noun. I mean following a noun. I mean following and then a noun. Yeah, will be suite à. Yeah. Can you acknowledge that if you've got any expression with à, you're then going to have suite à, le, suite au, or suite au, because it's then going to be using le as an article. So, for example, following something masculine, suite, following the competition, suite au concours. So following our arrival, arrival is a noun. So suite à notre arrivée, okay? Following as an adjective, okay, is suivant or suivante. So for example, the following week, la semaine suivante. Yeah, the following guy, le gars suivant. Following that, so as an expression, is suite à. Sorry, no, it isn't. It's ensuite. Well done. Just ignore. You know, just ignore. You know, everything I say. Is ensuite one word. All right. So, following plus a noun, suite on its own, plus a on its own, plus a new word, or if necessary, joining the a to another word. Following used as an adjective, suivant or suivante. Following that as an expression, you know, synonymous with and then, you know, like puis, will be, ensuite, one word. So let's get back to what I gave you. Following our arrival. Now, I know you think, oh, arrival, verb to arrive, verb. I'm on about arrival. It is a thing. It is our arrival, okay? So you could say, yes, after arriving, après être arrivé, great and gorgeous. But if I told you categorically that the word for arrival was a noun, okay, what's the word for arrival? Arrivé, feminine, yeah, double E. Yeah, so arrivé, lovely. So basically, that's a noun. Lovely. So, suite à notre arrivée, Madame Shaw est entrée dans la maison. You entrez dans quelque chose more often than not. So, elle est entrée dans la maison de mon ami. Lovely. All right? Lovely. So, let's look what else people wrote. Let's go back up. So far to climb. Mrs. Shaw. So ensuite, yes. So the thing is here. This is none of you on this group are beginners. Speak English, Luke, you dimebot. None of you in this group are beginners. So you've really got to acknowledge the power of muscle memory in your mouth. That's great, but it will also lead you astray. You want to cultivate a muscle memory. That is why you cannot just sit typing and reading. You've got to be speaking, all right? But so, for example, Mrs. Shaw, she's familiar with the phrase ensuite. That's great. She's familiar with that. She knew it needed suite here. She knew it didn't need suivant or suivant, but her mouth went ensuite. So it's suita, not ensuite. Okay, so you've got to acknowledge that you need to be saying all the different versions so they all feel equally comfortable. So following, what am I doing? So, right, so Elizabeth J. So following, so we've talked about this, Elizabeth. Our arrival, notre arrivée. Mrs. Shaw, it's an être verb, est entré, yeah, it's an être verb. Je suis entré, il est entré. Dans la maison de mon ami, lovely. Suite à notre arrivée, had's not bad, Madame Shaw est entrée chez mon ami. Yeah, you can use chez, but est entré dans is much, much better, okay? That's not strictly correct what you wrote, okay? Suite à notre arrivée, Nick Castine, lovely use of suite, lovely use of à, lovely use of notre arrivée singular, okay? Madame Shaw, there's an E on Madame in French, okay? A entrée. Now, Nick has done something that I haven't seen from anybody else. Actually, I saw it from Mrs. Shaw. I apologize. Is that he remembered to use the E. If it's a pigging être verb, it's got an être in the middle of it, it's going to have an E on the end. Caveat, this does not include reflexive verbs that use être when the word is not being used directly. That doesn't always happen. So, for example, I bought myself a pizza, feminine pizza. Je me suis acheté, just because I've got a suis, even if I was, no. Yeah, there's not going to be an agreement there because the thing that was bought wasn't the pizza. So don't, every time you see an extra verb, doesn't mean it's automatically going to be E or S on the end. If it's for the reflexives, you know, the je me suis, tu t'es, but if you're using the verbs to be, like je suis allé, tu es parti, il est parti, nous sommes allés, vous êtes monté, you would definitely have the E and S agreement, right? So, lovely. Lovely. I've just had a message. I'll just check it's not from any of you lots. Right, no. It's from the lovely Brenda, who I teach on a Monday, telling me she's in Santa Fe. So, lovely. So, let's go back to it. So, following our arrival, suite à notre arrivée, on est entré dans le magasin. Madame Shaw est entrée dans la maison de mon ami. Okay. Let me just check I'm okay for time, just for a little bit, and then I think I'll stay just for 5 more minutes. What time's my Sunday schedule? Let's have a look. Is it 4 o'clock? Bond Street. Bon, un petit moment, je suis juste en train de regarder quelque chose. J'arrive tout de suite. Oui, c'est cool. Okay, so I've got 5 more minutes. Okay. You do always show up late to the party, Ian, but you do such lovely work when you do. Right, thank you, Elizabeth. That's great. So just to finish then, okay. After spending 2 days together, well, if every bugger turned up on the hour, Mrs. Shaw, I wouldn't need to go over. So after spending I'd have got done what I wanted to get done. So after spending 2 days together, brackets, during which, we saw lots of things. And then imagine we were going to carry on. I mean, that sentence would normally then have something else, but I'm not going to give you any more than that. So I'd be like, after spending 2 days together, during which we saw lots of things, I'd then give you something else, but obviously that would be quite a lot to translate. So can you just do that to finish? After spending 2 days together. It really was a lovely trip, and obviously we had to have Mrs. Shaw's parole officer because as a convicted felon, you know, she obviously can't be let out of sort of her low security prison for a long time unaccompanied. But you know, and she's actually not as bad a kleptomaniac as everybody says. She, you know, she only stole a few things, sort of a few t-shirts and, you know, wallets and stuff. But it was really lovely to spend time in her company. Hads. My number one anger, that's not even English, the thing that pisses me off the most is the use of day versus de. Lots of things. Yes, Hads' little mouth may well have said beaucoup de in his lifetime. But are you saying lots of the things? Or are you saying lots of things? Next thing, Hads. During which is referring to 2 days. So have a little think about the spelling of of lesquels. Correct grammar, good job. Yeah, okay. Right. After spending 2 days together, après avoir passé 2 jours ensemble, lovely, 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 lovely. Can we just congratulate ourselves on using avoir with passé? Passé with être is to pass in front. Je suis passé devant. So I passed in front of Argos to return the goods that Mrs. Shaw had stolen. Je suis passé devant Argos, yeah, pour ramener les affaires les choses que les produits que Madame Shaw avait piqués. Okay. So, je suis passé, or après être passé would be about physically passing. We spent, yeah, après avoir passé 2 jours ensemble, during which, so when you've got the word which after a preposition, you will use lequel, laquelle, lesquels, and it will refer to the previous noun. 2 days together, un jour, pendant lesquels. Yeah? Lovely, Hads. Yeah? Now, again, Mrs. Shaw, you're getting very good at remembering what is in your mouth. So, pendant que and nous. So, Mrs. Shaw has done something wrong here, but correct, but not correct long term. Okay. So, when you've got a during and then a person, so whilst, that would indeed be pendant que. So, for example, during Christmas, pendant Noël, whilst Mrs. Shaw was stealing sort of money from the Queen, pendant que Madame Shaw, yeah, so that's why that's in her mouth. But if it's during which, referring to the, you know, the pen with which, le stylo avec lequel, the man with whom, l'homme avec qui, you know, with which is le, la, lesquels. So during which, pendant lesquels, yeah, pendant lesquels, during which. When you've got which, remember which is a needy little actress, yeah, called Kel, or a needy actor. Let's not say women are needy, let's say men are needy. Good God, most of them are. So the fact is, during which, so quel either needs the noun afterwards or the le late word before. I've just caught a massive grey hair, good God. So, during which, pendant lesquels, lovely. So, après avoir passé 2 jours ensemble, pendant lesquels, we saw lots of things. On a vu beaucoup de choses. Hads, I need a plural on the S as well. Après avoir passé 2 jours ensemble, pendant lesquels, Ian, pendant lesquels, during which, the which isn't standard. It's not a standard which. It needs to refer to whatever's come first. Pendant lesquels, yeah. Rubbish, you're as resplendent and as relaxed as you possibly could be, having been shown beautiful, wonderful things you didn't even know exist. You didn't even know existed. Good. So, lovely. Beaucoup de choses, lots of, remember plural. Everybody loves the spelling of the word shows, but remember shows could be plural, okay? Good. Final thing of the day, and then I'm going to go. Une chose, feminine. Yeah? So, feminine word. Yeah? Quelque chose. Okay? That's it, Bruno. I love it when you have an epiphany. Quelque chose de plus adjective. So if you say something nice, so if you said a beautiful thing, une belle chose, because thing is feminine, okay? Something beautiful would be quelque chose de beau. So quelque chose as a concept is neutral masculine. And also when you use it with an adjective, you need de. Same as quelqu'un. Someone beautiful, quelqu'un de beau. Something interesting, quelque chose d'intéressant. All right? Final thing to remember with something, you could say a few things, which would be quelque. Hang on, that fell out wrong because I was coughing. Quelque chose. All right? These are the common errors with things. Quelque chose, something. Quelque chose is just some things, because we could say des choses, obviously, or, you know. Final rule, and I'd really like you to listen to the last 5 minutes of this. I might do a video on all the shit that can go wrong with choses. Ça se peut que je fasse une vidéo de toutes les choses qui déconnent avec les mots choses. So if you say beautiful things, it's an adjective which goes first. So de belles choses. Can I remind you? Putain, j'ai du mal à parler en anglais. Can I remind you that when you've got an adjective that comes before the noun, you're going to use de rather than des. So these are these expressions. Copy me. Something beautiful. Quelque chose de beau. Quelque chose de beau. A beautiful thing. Une belle chose. Something. Quelque, no S, chose, no S. A few things. Quelque, S, chose, S. All right? Chose is an area of you know, common problem, all right? So please click like if you found it useful. Please send me a WhatsApp. Make sure you're available for next week if you're going to be doing it, because it would be really lovely to push you on the speaking. And it's actually easier when you just start listening to sound, okay? And that way we won't be being all nitpicky about the spelling. We will just be talking. We'll be hearing each other talk, all right? So that's what's going to be good, all right? I more than acknowledge some of you are doing this class in what is already your second language. Donc, j'accepte déjà que il y en a parmi nous qui vous faites ce cours déjà utilisant une langue qui n'est pas votre première langue. Donc, déjà, ça, c'est super admirable. Ça, c'est super impressionnant. Je l'accepte. I understand that, okay? We are not here to judge. We are not here to criticize accents. We are just here to get you speaking, all right? No, Mrs. Shaw, you need to see your agent because you need to give me 15, 20%. Right. I will see you all next week. Do please join the WhatsApp. Like I said, if you're not on the WhatsApp group, I will add you to the WhatsApp group. But the point next week is I want you to individually have a chat box open with me so that I, with my juvenile Captain America phone, can sit here, see your message wherever you are. You just hold down a button. It's absolutely free if you're on Wi-Fi. It doesn't cost you any money. Doesn't cost you any money. You hold the button, you speak, and then I can hear what you're all saying, okay? Ian, send me a WhatsApp reminding me to do that, because as you know, I'm incapable. I remember where we were when we learned different things, but I wouldn't remember that instruction. So just send me a WhatsApp reminding me to do that, all right? Well then, I'm going to go and do some sport and try and forget the whole hideous experience. I was rocking backwards and forwards in the shower, scrubbing myself with bleach after my trip to France. And I will see you all next time. Well done. Today's lesson was sponsored by Mrs. Shaw.